Welcome to this video tip by Lean Scheduling International. This tip regards Preactor Advanced Planning and Scheduling and the calendar management functionality of them. Resources have calendars, and secondary constraints also have calendars. And the calendars specify resource availability and efficiency. And so managing calendars is key in synchronizing the model behavior with your shop floor reality. An operation will only be scheduled when working time is active for both the resource and secondary constraints. There are also a series of other powerful fine-tuning possibilities, such as defining run or setup processing only during certain segments. Now, resources are linked to calendar templates for ease of management and also to exception blocks, so that using calendar templates makes your life easier in managing only the template rather than each of the 100 resources you have. So let's go look at a primary calendar template, and if we pick the normal week template, we can see that the 7-day calendar, this is a 7-day repeating template. We see it along in this block each of the segments, whether they're working time or non-working time throughout the week, and this is used as a repeating template for the week. On the details, we're starting out with an on-shift period for 4 hours and then a short break for a half an hour or for 1 hour, then back on shift or off shift. Each of the shift segments has a capability to say what the efficiency is. And so that's a template. If we close that template and go look at a particular resource, say the grinder. Now the grinder is pointed at this default normal week, and if we open this up, for the specific resource, we actually have a start and an end time. So you might have a resource that uses a first shift calendar during the first 3 months of the year, and then you're going to go to 2 shifts, so that you'll have a start time for the single shift calendar template, and then at the end of April you'll start up with the 2 shift template starting in May 1st. We can also apply these changes to multiple resources, so it's pretty easy to administer. Now, in addition to the base template we're referencing, we have a specific override template or exception template, in this case shown in blue. If we open this one up, this says that we have a template of vacation holiday time, which begins on the 19th of January and ends on the 22nd. So this methodology of exception templates is used for things like machine downtime. You can have a positive hours during normal downtime. You can say we have an exception that we're working overtime this Saturday, etc. So resources have a combination of references to templates and exception calendar blocks. Now, each of those calendar segments we talked about actually refers to another template kind of item called a calendar state. And calendar states allow us to both put usable colors and references onto the Gantt chart so that we can see what state the calendar's in back of the jobs we have scheduled on the Gantt chart. But also each one can have kind of an override efficiency. When I'm on shift, I'm working at 100%. When I'm off shift, I'm working at 0. And over here, we have that capability to say, is setup allowed during this period? So I can set up, a first shift work period that says, yes, setup's allowed, but I don't have any master mechanics on second and third shift. So even though they're working time, we don't allow setup to happen during that state. Now, similarly to the main resources, which are those primary calendars, and we looked at the grinder, there's secondary resources. And if we can go, secondary resources also work the same. They reference a calendar template. In this case, this is the default of the custom values, meaning that's the default week. If we open this up, the additional item says that we can specify how many secondary constraint units we have. For example, if this were setup operators, we might have, the maximum setup people we have is 2. So even though the machine can run all day and night, this says during this time period we only have a maximum of 2 setup operators, and don't schedule more jobs than we have for that. So this is the end of the brief overview for the Preactor calendar management tips. This is one of the key features that makes the schedule model actually represent the way your business runs. It's fairly easy to manipulate, and with the 2 primary items of resources themselves, meaning a machine level, and secondary constraints, any number of secondary constraints with their own calendar profiles, allow you to make a very powerful and accurate schedule. Thank you.